Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be talking about the easiest developer times in Crash 4. I think this video is more important than the hardest dev times because I feel like a lot of people have put off doing these once finishing the Platinum Relics and realizing they are still 10 to 30 seconds off the Purple Relics. But I think the Platinum Relics was something Crash 4 did really well. They were enough of a challenge to prepare you well for the Purple Relics. All it really takes is ticking off the easy levels first to get a feel for how you need to move racing against the developer times. And along the way, you'll learn more about using the slide spin and triple spin in areas that otherwise maybe you didn't in the Platinum Relics. I also think it's worth mentioning that there will likely be some Purple Relics that you'll beat unintentionally while in pursuit of the Platinum Relics. Now, I think there is a number of factors that go into what makes certain levels more difficult to obtain a Purple Relic over others. So there may be levels on my list that you disagree with. In the same way you may find a level really easy that was on my list of the most difficult dev times. Here are two honourable mentions that did not make my top 5, but I think are worth being some of the first Purple Relics you attempt. The first one is Booty Calls. This is a pretty straightforward level with a few tricky sections that you can still afford to take your time to ensure you hit the time crates. There is also a shortcut toward the end of the level at the Pirate Town you can take that the developer doesn't take. The second honourable mention is Give It a Spin. This is a very basic level that once again allows you to take your time a little more than others. It also allows you to make use of the Acano triple spin glitch. Any level that you can do this on pretty much guarantees a Purple Relic, but this level just happens to be the easiest one. In my run, I didn't use the Acano triple spin and still managed to beat the developer. Anyway, starting off this list, we have Crash Landed. Now this may have been a decision based on the fact that this is one of my favourite levels, but I really do think that this is one of the easier levels to obtain a Purple Relic. The thing that's going to make this level easy is the fact that you can get Triple Mask twice. This allows you to blast through areas that otherwise may have been difficult without having to care too much about enemies, obstacles, or fire cycles. The Schnurgle sections also aren't too bad. You don't need to dash as much as you think. In fact, it's more important you slow down in certain areas to make sure you hit time crates. So yeah, if you can get Triple Mask both times and hit the time crates on the Schnurgle sections, you'll have no issues with this one. Coming in at number 4, we have Building Bridges. I know a lot of people have suggested this one might be one of the hardest Purple Relics, but let me explain why this is on my list. It took me 5 minutes, and the only run I failed was because I was trying to go faster in the Polar section than I needed to, and I missed 7 to 10 seconds worth of time crates. The Tawna section flowed really smoothly for me, which is saying something considering I do not like playing as Tawna. You realistically just want to learn the timings of the electric platforms and you'll have no issues here. If you're ahead of the Ghost at the start of Crash's section, you pretty much have this one in the bag. The developer is slow in that section leading up to Polar, which isn't super long, but you have to figure that's still a second or two you can put between you and the developer. On the Polar section, it's the same thing as I suggested for Crash Landed. Dash where you can, sure, but don't feel like you have to do it constantly in areas where you're at risk of missing time crates. So once again, just keep moving with Tawna and hit the time crates with Polar, and hopefully Building Bridges will be as easy for you as it was for me. Taking the number 3 spot, we have Dino Dash. Yes, shocker, my favourite level is on the list. But this is one of the most forgiving times in the game. There are certain areas that will try and slow you down, but that's the beauty of it. This level still allows for you to take your time and still beat the developer time by a comfortable margin. For example, the start is really just about hitting the time crates and maybe trying to keep the mask to allow for triple later on. The chase sections you will likely have triple masks, so you can just slide spin or triple spin the whole way through and slow down for the crossing sections over the dinosaurs or the lava platforms. That tricky 2D lava section, so long as you make the first platform, you can wait a few seconds at the second wall until a suitable platform arrives, and then just make sure you get on the next platform that arrives at the third wall. Number 2 is Cortex Castle. It's funny how one of the hardest levels in the game can be one of the easiest time trials, but then again it kind of makes sense. If a level is easy, then it's also easy for the developer to move faster and there are no shortcuts for you to take advantage of. That's why in Cortex Castle there are endless ways to get ahead of the Ghost. In my opinion, probably the 2 shortcuts you want to take advantage of are that first section with Ika Ika where you can skip both of the lasers so long as you have a mask. And in the Gauntlet, instead of riding the platform with Landing Lolly the whole way through, you can actually jump across the TNTs, and so long as you still have a mask, you can skip the laser part. Neither of these shortcuts are difficult to do, and doing them means that you can really take your time in a lot of areas and have no trouble beating the developer here. The easiest developer time in Crash 4 is Home Cookin'. To be honest, I didn't even really want to include this level on the list since it's just ridiculous how easy this one is. And beating it won't really do much to help you improve on beating any of the other Purple Relics since you're basically just running as Dingodile for 3 minutes straight. In my run, I missed an insane amount of time crates since I not only didn't realise that the detonator wouldn't destroy them at the end, but there were some that I just didn't feel like getting. This level has a lot of mini shortcuts you can take instead, so I found it more productive just to do that instead of hitting the time crates. This is definitely a time that if you didn't beat it on accident when going for the Platinum Relics, you really won't be far off. And those are the easiest developer times in Crash 4. There were probably 10 to 15 I could have put on this list, but I felt these were the 5 that really stood out to me as being the easiest. If you are in pursuit of these purple relics, I really hope this video helps. Feel free to drop a comment if you feel there were any levels I may have missed. Like I said, there are probably half the levels in this game that have a somewhat easy developer time. Stay tuned as I will likely be posting another video over the coming weeks. I'm enjoying making these videos, so if you have any ideas for content that you would like to see, let me know. Thanks for watching and see you next time.